Hi, I'm Leapfrog.
Hello, LogansStory family, and welcome to another Steven Spielberg Highlight. In this highlight, we're going to talk about Minority Report. Thank you for coming, and get into it. So, you're a cop in the future, and your judgment between right and wrong is on a wing of right and wrong. You know this rather than this. You're programmed to understand this rather than this. What if that whole thing turns against, what if that thing that should bring law and order to passion comes and bites you in the butt? What if that thing that is so powerful, that is law and order, leads to your demise ultimately, and you work in that industry? Well, that could mean that you're in big trouble based on the promises and the no's and the laws that come with regulations in terms of being an officer in the living sense of a city. And even though they're chasing after our main character, what does that mean to really place law and order on a scale of future rather than on a scale of innocent before proven guilty? Now, one could argue that the future that is seen in terms of the crime could be the overall faction of innocent until proven guilty. Some would say that that probably is not the right way to go about it, seeing that they didn't commit the crime at the moment. But the main character is tested in terms of what it means to be in a situation like this. What does it mean to be, in terms of, well, the Minority Report, to be in a sense of danger because of something you did in the future, or you may not do in the future? How set are the rules inducing so? And where are we landing in terms of this whole thing? Where is the big picture in terms of this whole thing? What are the nooks and crannies that make this thing work the way it does? Well, I'll go into detail. Okay, so when you think about law and order, crime, criminals, policemen, policewomen, in terms of the future, what are you really getting at in terms of everything that seems to hold the grasp of what it means to carry a badge and what it means to be a criminal? There's a lot of things what that can mean. There's a lot of things that carry what it means to be the responsibility of a person fighting for justice. But are they going too far? Are they going to the limit of too far to be even committing a said crime that wasn't committed at the moment but committed in the future? How high is that predictability? Is it notion carried, or is it just predictability? That doesn't necessarily mean that our main character, is at wits with himself. He has to figure out a way to prove himself before he does what he does to a man he's never even met, that shows that he killed a man that he's never even met. That makes no sense in a way, because if you're looking towards that much future, then how are you really going about fixing the laws and practices of being in America, of being, well, a police officer in said state? What does it mean to show the grasp of that sense when you're following a regimen that means he did it no matter what? Even if he didn't do it, he did it no matter what. And because that, is the state too high? Are the stakes too high? Are the police officers really doing their job? Because if they catch someone before they take them in for a crime they committed in a later part of, well, the days going on, is that really lawful? Is that really fair? Were they ever going to commit the crime? Were they ever going to murder somebody? And were they going to do something that was said in a basic room where people just nod their heads? I think it's important to take this under the grasp of maybe something that you can see in the future. No one can really tell what the future holds. And because of that, a lot of people are getting in trouble for something they did or didn't do. And because of that, law and order seems to be something that's more so predictability rather than it is for sure. And just because someone is featured in a film that shows them in the cause of the crime at a later date, does that mean that they are viable for a crime? Or is law and order just losing their minds, willing to catch anyone with a active face in terms of finding someone who is actually committing such criminal activity? Where's the leadership in this whole thing? Where's the leadership in terms of the main character? What is he trying to get people to understand after he's accused? What are people doing to figure out if the process of finding criminals is the right thing they're trying to do? And because of that, what does that mean for you and I? What does that mean for you and I? Well, application of course. Okay, so here's the thing. When you leave a door open, you may predict that the door is going to close by itself, right? And especially if you just leave it open. Bad example. Let's try another one. You are walking your dog. The predictability that your dog's going to shit is all in due time. Being prepared before so is given the way of knowing what the predictability is. But that's not the same thing as predicting someone who's about to commit a murder or commit a crime. It's about two different things. Your dog needs to go to the bathroom so you can go on a walk. The crime is already preset to be committed, so be prepared for the powers inducing so. Which one sounds more plausible in terms of the world that we live in? Because here's the thing. The world that we live in is unpredictable. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. We don't know what's going to happen the next day. We don't know what's going to happen in the next few hours. The thing is, when you try to chart down the next few hours and keep a log of it, you're giving your life away to something that is not necessary. And so when you think of things in the future, it's more important to stay in the present. I mean, that's why they call it the present. It's a gift. And because you want to live in the moment rather than not live in the moment, it's important to know what you're trying to live in the moment for. Family reasons, friendly reasons, memories, just the idea of building a character that is yourself. You have to have present times in order to know what is and what's not. If you have too much of the future, you're leading yourself up to two things: shame and predictability. Whether or not those crimes are going to be committed, that doesn't matter. What matters is the crimes that are actually committed and things that actually matter that go towards those things. And the thing is, when you put this all together, what is your future saying about you? Because here's the thing, you can't determine your future, but you can shape it. You can shape what you want, what you do in the present. You can shape what you want for a future sense, for a later date in terms of what your success may be. And because of that, the future is something that is held on as the future, not held on as something we need to view now. So live your life now. Live your life in the present. And what you take away from this movie is, don't take the present and future for granted. Otherwise, it could bite everyone in the butt that you know. Thank you for coming to my application, and let's continue forward. Thank you for coming along the story. Thank you for coming to the Steven Spielberg Highlight. There are more highlights in the future, so keep an eye out for those. Also, the mission is 1,000 subscribers. You guys know me get there by hitting the share, like, and subscribe button right on the screen. Also by hitting the bell. Leave a comment if you can too. Thank you again, and peace.